Yeah. I'm a victim of 400 years of conditioning.
Shut up.
The man has programmed my conditioning. Even my conditioning has been conditioned.
Hey YouTube, glad you're back with us. This video is all about homeschooling. Hi, I'm Niasiac, and I am so glad that you've decided to join me in this video. This is for all you homeschooling moms or you're thinking about homeschooling and you think that maybe you don't know how to really what's the word? Organize a curriculum for your homeschooling needs. You're nervous about it, if you're going to be doing it right, how you should do it, and everything like that. Just let me reassure you that it's not really that complicated. So these are some homeschooling tips. All right. So what I do, I've been homeschooling for 4 years now, going on 5. Is I think of what my children need and I base my curriculum on that. Need based on that specific child, like depending on what your child needs and depending on what you feel like they need in life, because school is not really like that. And if you hear that noise in the background, that's my children. I don't know why they didn't close the door. No, I'm doing the video right now. Hey, give me one. So I'm back. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, okay. So these are homeschooling tips, and based on the child's needs, you want to base your curriculum on that, okay? And you don't have to call it curriculum. You can call it whatever you want. So this is what I do. I feel I've been schooled in the system, and I have a degree in communications, broadcasting, and what I do is everything that I felt like I should have learned in school, I base my curriculum on that. And everything that I felt was helpful in school, I add that to my curriculum, right? So I feel like music is important. Any aspect of music, meaning like an instrument, learning an instrument, to me, I feel like that's important because I feel like that boosts up your child's IQ. It uses the majority of your child's brain. So I feel like learning an instrument is important. And I'm also thinking ahead. I'm thinking that that can also become their talent, their skill. They can teach that if they feel like, you know, they don't want a job. They can teach that later on to students, parents, whomever. So I'm thinking ahead like that. Languages, I want them to be bilingual. My oldest son, he's probably going to be trilingual, or he's going to learn a lot of languages because that's an interest for him. And I feel like being bilingual is really good too, because you can teach that in the future as well. You can start your own school. You can, I mean, it's a plethora of different things when your child is bilingual, you know. Learning math, of course, you want them to know the basics of math, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Algebra, that's really up to you. I do have my oldest son doing algebra right now. Not right now, but he has done algebra because he's getting into carpentry, which is another skill. Carpentry, he's taking some classes on carpentry, and that's mixed like woodworking. Also, what else? Law. I just thought of that. I haven't, excuse me, what is that? I haven't incorporated that into my lessons yet, but I am. I feel like that's missing. Law is missing in the schools. And I mean, like, your kids can learn this young. And I mean the basics, you know what I mean? Unless they're going to be a lawyer or something like that. But I think that children should learn the basics of law, like how to sign your name, what is a contract, and I don't mean like signing your name like signature wise. I mean if you feel like you're being coerced into signing something or forced into signing something when it comes to law, which the law does, because we don't really understand the aspects of a contract. We don't understand Ew. I feel like a piece of hair on me. There we go. All right. So, as far as like when we get in the courtroom and pleas and going to court, standing in front of a judge, that system. And I'm not saying that there needs to be a lawyer unless you're prophesying over your child to be a lawyer, then that's different. You want to go further into law. But the basics, I mean, our children get stopped, you know, go to court, and they just need to know some basics of what the court system is. You know, what is a court system? What do they do? How do you protect yourself? Things like that. And some of these things I really don't know all of the aspects to it, but hey, I'm willing to learn so they can know, you know. I do have some like correspondences that I'm using that I'm going over first, and I'm just taking out, extracting what I can use to help them, because some of the words are very like you know, they're hard, you know, some hard words right there, because it's law and it's Latin, you know. Is it Latin, Greek, whatever? So what else? I have classes that I want them to take, and my classes are not long because I feel like I have ADD sometimes. Like I can't sit still, you know, too long before I get bored. I try to make them very interesting, and I try to make them to the point and not long at all, like 15-20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. It usually goes over 15 minutes. My goal is usually 15 minutes a class. I know you're like, 15 minutes, that's not enough time to learn. It is, because I do it often. I incorporated it into their daily lives. It's just not somewhere you just sit down and you hear a lecture. You know, it's not like that, right? So, anyway, back to my point. I have classes where they take from me, and classes they take where I feel like, you know, I need help teaching, you know. Also, like they take a relationship class, how to be in a relationship. What do you look for in a relationship? Because I have a teenager, I have a preteen. My daughter doesn't take my relationship class, but she listens sometimes. But how to be in a, you know, I feel like those are important. We don't have classes like that until maybe we get to college, depending on what we're studying. But my children are taking relationship classes. I want them to know what to look for, how to date. I want them to, you know, they're not even thinking, they're not even interested like that in dating right now. But it's good for them to know, you know, once they do get to a point where they feel like it's time to date, and me and their father is like, okay, it's all right, because you have to really think in the future about what you want to teach your children, right? All right. So another thing is nutrition. They take my nutrition class. They need to understand their body. They need to understand like why it needs to be healthy. They need to understand why it needs to be strong. They need to understand the cells, what they are, what they do. Because once we understand our body more, we can understand how to take care of our body. So they need to know the knowledge of that and how to apply it. Not just know, oh, the cells, the red blood cells do this, and the white blood cells do this, and T cells do this. They need to know how to apply these things, how to make, you know, a stronger body, a stronger mind, and stuff like that. So yes, they have to stretch, they have to work out, and I do that too. So they have to do that as well. And that's the class that they have to take with me. Business classes. All my children actually have businesses. And this is, you know, their first business. This is a learning experience. They have to understand what business is, what entrepreneurs are, what they do, just everything, you know, the basics of what a business does. And as they get older, it'll get more and more intense, you know, because you learn, right? It's knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So once you get the knowledge, you need the experience, because with the knowledge and experience together, you get the wisdom, right? All right, so they take business classes with me, and I don't get it for these things from any particular books or anything like that. I put together from my own experience, because I had a business, and I'm actually going to start my business up again, but that's another story. And I take it from other people's successes in their businesses and the people that I associate with and everything like that, right? So also I just thought of another thing that I can include in my classes for them. But it just left my mind. So it'll come back to me. But also they take cooking classes with me. They need to know how to cook. They need to know like what ingredients to put together to make a healthy meal. They need to understand ingredients. They need to understand how to shop, what to look for, like understanding ingredients. Because you know when you go to the store, you're like, what's all these big words and stuff like that? And all you got to do really is to understand like the suffixes and fixes, and then you'll kind of understand the general terminology of what it is, right? Also, credit. I think that's a big thing that they don't teach us in school, because once your credit is right, once you know how to manage money and credit, I'm telling you, you'll be a millionaire. The things that I'm learning now about credit and managing finances, the things that my husband is learning now about it, it's like we wish we would have known when we were younger, because I think we'll be, further ahead. But it's all good, because now we're taking our experience, our wisdom, and we're enforcing that. Not enforcing that. We're implanting that. I don't like implanting either. We're incepting that, maybe? Okay, I'll take that one. Into their heads. And we're planting the seed. I like that better.
Everyone has challenges in their life every day. Some of them are small, but some of them are big, massive issues that can make or break you. But when you're a child, if you're lucky, you got your parents there to help and support you. But when you become an adult, you have to learn to cope with these things on your own. But we can always support each other, no matter what you're doing right now.